Hey everybody, Dr. Jones with another update. I'm trying to keep you updated as things come out and as I receive questions. I've received a ton of questions as we get ready to open for the new school year. Look, I realize that in all these times of uncertainty, or as people like to say, unprecedented times, there are elevated levels of anxiety. I get it. So what I'm going to be doing as often as I can is taking all those questions, distilling them to different topics, and then giving you brief updates here via video, and then I'll be emailing out larger things on them so that you have them and you can hold them and refer to them. But let's get started. First, the idea of cohorts and schedules. I get all kinds of questions about when are we going to know our cohorts, when are we getting our schedules. Look, cohorts are being developed as we speak. You're going to get them as soon as possible. It's a lot of work. They're divvying them up geographically by address, and we're going to get those out to you. Schedules, we moved to a 6-period schedule. So we no longer have students carrying 7 periods where we go to 5 and drop 2 each day. They're going to carry a 6-period schedule, meet all 6 each day for 55 minutes. And so we blew up the structure of our schedule. We had to rebuild it. We're doing that, and we're getting close. There will be more letting you know when they're ready to go out so that you know to look for them. One of the other big issues is transitions. People are wondering how it looks at the high school with all the physical distancing requirements and things like that. How are students going to arrive? What does passing look like? What does lunch look like? How do students leave school? Look, arrival, you're going to show up, there's going to be personnel out front, and we're going to direct buses when they can drop students off to different doors, as well as the parents dropping their students off, as well as a separate entrance for students driving. When we're talking about passing, our hallways are going to be one-way hallways. Stairwells are going to be one-way stairwells so that all students can access their class. They may get a couple extra steps on their Fitbits there, but they'll be able to do that and remain physically distant by the way we fill in the hallways from the different classes. Lunch is going to look a lot different. We're utilizing the cafeteria and we're utilizing the back quarter of the gym because we can fit that many students in each of those 2 spots where they split up, they remain physically distant, and they can enjoy their lunch. Dismissal, there used to be a book, All That I Ever Needed to Know, I learned in kindergarten. Well, we're going to be dismissing like the lower grades dismiss. We're going to have somebody outside calling the number of the bus, probably 2, maybe 3 at a time, inside to somebody. They're going to make an announcement to students, remind them to stay physically distant so that they can then come get on their buses. Now, classes. I already mentioned that there's 6 classes a day. They don't rotate, they're static. Now, that may change because of one of our principles. We've got to remain flexible if we find that we're stealing from either end of the schedule for arrivals and dismissals if they take longer than we thought or something like that. But again, they won't rotate. They're 55 minutes long, and then we're going to give students enough time during passing to make sure that we get everybody to each class. The other piece of that is individuals are worried about what cohorts look like in the classroom and what that looks like. We've got 15 students maximum in each of our classrooms. 15 maximum. So there is appropriate distancing, gives the teacher room up at the front, and leaves plenty of room around the doors. That's kind of it for now as far as information. Well, a little bit more information, but more announcement stuff. Look, there's a lot going on and a lot put into this to make this work right. We know it's not easy, and we didn't expect it to be easy. But what we did want to do is make sure we were meeting the needs of all our students the best we possibly could. We're willing to take on the challenge. All we ask is that you help us take on the challenge by working with us. Keep those questions coming because that's what helps us continually think of things. If we haven't put it out, we may not be thinking it through as much as possible. So we're going to use those questions to do that. We want to make sure we follow our 4 principles of return. And now as we're filling those buckets underneath each of those, we want to make sure that we're hitting them. And that's what's guiding our decision. So if you ever have a question, please refer to those and that'll give us some explanation. Now, one last thing that's really, really important. Parents of high school students only. I know other people see this video. Parents of high school students only. You're going to receive an email with a survey that has to do with what instruction is going to look like while we stream from class to those students that are in remote and that are at home. please fill out that survey. It's really important. We're trying to do inventory on devices. We want to get as much hardware into students' hands as possible because we are moving to a BYOD atmosphere. Bring your own device. So that survey has to do with what kind of devices your students have and what they could possibly bring to school and what that looks like. Because one of the things about this that we're in is this is making education reflect on what education does, the purpose, and how it goes about it. And some things we can take out of this are really good for learning. One of those things is technology. We always talk about technology. We're going to see a lot of opportunities to learn what kind of technology is appropriate for what situation and what's responsible use of technology. Well, hey, that's all I got for now. Look, we will get through this. I feel confident knowing the staff that's here, they're all stepping up to the plate, looking at what they can do, coming up with ideas. It's energizing to speak to the staff here and listen to some of the ideas they've got going on. So this is going to be great. We're going to get through it as long as we do it together. So please think about all those things. If you have any questions, reach out. We are here to help. Have a great day.